Hi everyone, today we are going to be making these flip-flops. We're going to be crocheting around the straps here. Actually, we're going to make a separate piece and then sew it onto the straps. So I found this free pattern online. It is not my pattern, so I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Let's see here, who wrote this pattern? It's by poppyandbliss.com. So I'll put the link in the description of this video so you can follow that link to get her pattern. She used different colors as me and different flip-flops as me. I got my flip-flops at the dollar store, so you know you can get flip-flops really anywhere and crochet around them. You know, any department store has flip-flops. So I'll put the link in the description for her video, or I'm sorry, her pattern. She has a written pattern. I'm making the video today on how to make these, and I use different yarn as her as well. So the supplies we need, before I start with the supplies though, I do want to mention I do have a Facebook page, so make sure you go and see that. You can get updates on all my crochet videos. Make sure to subscribe to this channel as well so you can get updates on when I make new videos. And then check out my website. I have all my crochet videos linked there, so you can see all my videos and everything and learn crochet and share your work on my Facebook page as well. So I really do like to see everybody's creativity. But going into the supplies we're going to need today, we are going to be using an E size hook, which is 3.5 millimeters. So if you have something equivalent, you can use a 3 millimeter hook or an F hook, which is 3.75 millimeters. So it's really those three hooks you can use, but I'm using an E size hook today, which is 3.5 millimeters. And in her written pattern, she actually has it as a 3 millimeter hook, so really doesn't really matter. But that's that. Then we're going to need a yarn needle for sewing later, because we're going to be sewing this around the strap of the flip-flop. Scissors, obviously, so that because when we're changing colors we're going to have to cut the yarn. And the yarn I'm using today is Caron Simply Soft. Now, this is a scrap yarn project. Obviously, you can see I'm not using very much, so it's a great scrap yarn project. Make sure it's a medium size 4 yarn. I think that's 10 ply. And I'm just using scraps, basically. I had actually these 3 colors left over from a challenge, Afghan challenge through the Crochet Crowd. So I'm using the leftover yarn from my Afghan challenge. So the 3 colors I'm using today, this pink one is called Watermelon, this purple is Passion, and this teal color is called Pagoda. So you can see Pagoda there as my wrapper is falling apart, but you can see these are the 3 colors that I'm using today. You can use the same colors if you want, or other colors, or 10 colors, I don't even care. Whatever creativity you have, you can use today. So those are the 3 colors I'm going to use. Also, I'm going to show on my website, I'll show you the rows, that however many rows I used for each color if you want to make this exact pair. I have a list here. I actually wrote out of the colors which row it was and what color I used. So I will put this list, type it up and put it on my website so you can see. But on mine, I have size medium flip-flops, which is size 7 to 8. So if you have smaller feet or bigger feet and the straps are longer or shorter, it may depend on however many rows you need. So this is a very versatile pattern, and I'll show you how to decrease or increase the amount of rows you need to in the pattern, so that'll be nice. So if you have smaller or bigger feet than size 7 or 8, then you can go with this. So yeah, I'll have the list of color pattern on my website so you can see which colors I used. And then I think that's it. So let's get started and crochet these straps. Alright, so let's get started. We need all three colors, we're going to be, changing the color every row. Have your color chart available, and or you could just, go with it, whatever colors you want to use. If you want to do a plain color, you don't need to change any colors. So start out with a slip knot. Put your short end over the long end, fold that down, and pull that through. Okay, and then pull tight. There's your slip knot. Insert your hook. Okay, so it's a 3.5 millimeter. Alright, and now we are going to chain 10. So yarn over and pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then we want to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So what I usually do, you see your chain like this? Here I'll show you what I do. I turn my chain toward me, and then on the back you can see these ridges here. Oops. You see these back ridges here? Okay, I crochet underneath those. Okay, just so that then my bottom of my work will be cleaner, a cleaner look to it. So in the second chain from the hook, insert your hook in there, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops that are on your hook. That's your first single crochet. Going into the next chain, yarn over and then pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. Okay, that's second single crochet. So you just want to single crochet all the way across this chain. So like I'm doing, just insert your hook in the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and then you should have 9 single crochets all the way across. Okay, so I only have 4 more, so you can see I'll go a little slower here on this next one. Insert into the chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, again. Okay, and then the last one. And with this small hook, it will be a tighter stitch. Okay, so there we have our first row. Now we're going to chain up 1 and turn our work. Okay, now we're going to work this row, but then after this row we're going to change color. So just single crochet across, so go right into this first stitch here. You may get it lost because we chained up in that stitch as well. So just insert it into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So we're working with single crochet this whole project, just the same stitch, very simple. So just continue working this all the way across, but do not finish your last stitch. Okay, we're going to be changing color in the last stitch. So I'll show you what that means when I get there. Almost there. Okay, so in this last stitch we are going to insert our hook and yarn over and pull through, but we are not going to finish by yarning over and pulling through. We're not doing that. We are going to grab our new color. So if you look at your color chart, our next color is Passion. And we need to yarn over that. Whoops. Like that. So I kind of just fold it in half, put it between my 2 fingers, and pull that through the 2 loops. Okay, so it's like we're finishing that off. Now, to save time and to not have to sew in your ends, what I would do is, it's kind of confusing, so you have to kind of watch. when we turn our work, so chain up 1, and then we're going to turn our work to go on to the next row. But instead of having these stragglers hang out, what we want to do, whatever this color is, we are going to take the color yarn. Okay, so whatever our previous color was, we're just going to take that yarn and put it over the top of that row, like this. Okay, and we are going to crochet across that. Then, once we go on to the next row, we are going to grab this, and I'll show you how to do that as well. We're going to crochet over the top of these stragglers, so we don't have to sew them in later. So, it's going to be kind of tricky, so you want to go underneath this straggler here, this pink straggler. You want to go underneath that and then into the first stitch. And where is the first stitch? Where we chained up 1. So don't lose that one. Okay, it's right here. And then yarn over and pull through and go underneath that straggler. And then yarn over and pull through too. Okay, so now your straggler is secure underneath that stitch. So now we are going to crochet across. Single crochet in each stitch across, making sure that you're crocheting over the top of your straggler, just like that. And once you crochet over the top of that, it'll be secure in your stitches, so then you're safe to cut it at the end of this row. And I'll show you once I get there. Okay, so I'm still crocheting over the top of my straggler. I'm kind of holding the straggler with my pinky in my hand to kind of guide it, and then I'm holding the purple yarn around my pointer. So there's a little bit of coordination that needs to be done with this, but once you get the hang of it, you'll get it pretty fast. Okay, so we're done with this row. I just single crocheted across. You should have your 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm just finishing my last one here, 9. Now I'm going to pull this up and remove my hook for a second, take my scissors, and cut the pink yarn. Okay, stretch that out so it goes underneath the stitches like that. You can drop the pink yarn then. And now, going on to the next row, let's see, the next row is again Passion. So keep looking at your color chart. So chain up 1, turn your work, and now we have this straggler here. So what we're going to do is put this over the top of that, pull it through on this end, and then crochet over the top of it. Okay, so go into that first stitch. It's going to be kind of difficult to see it because that straggler is over the top of it. Single crochet over the top of your straggler, so it's secure there, and then single crochet across over the top of your straggler. But at the end of this row, let's see, oh no, we are still working with Passion, never mind. So we are going to continue working across this row with our single crochets. Just like that. Alright. Now, your straggler is secure in there. You can pull it a little bit to tighten it and then stretch it out. And then you can cut this purple straggler here. Okay, and then make sure you stretch it out so that it's secure underneath the stitches. And then chain up 1 and go on to your next row. And all we're doing is just single crocheting across. So just single crochet across and then chain up 1 and then single crochet across until you finish row 7. Okay, and right now I am on row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so do this purple passion color for another few rows until you do this through row 7. Once you finish row 7, we are going to change color after that, and I'll meet you up when we do that. Okay, so on this last stitch here, this is row 7, so we are changing color after this, so I just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and don't yarn over and pull through, change your color, which in our case is going to be the pagoda greenish color, green blue I guess, teal. So then yarn over with that, so basically just fold this in half, then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Okay, then drop that straggler, chain up 1, turn your work, pick up the purple over the top of your row, go underneath the straggler into the first stitch, then yarn over and pull through underneath that, then yarn over and pull through 2. Okay. Now that straggler is secure underneath the stitch, so you can crochet across here and crochet over the straggler all the way across. And that's basically it. I mean, that's how the pattern is gonna go. So you're just gonna crochet over the top of your stragglers and crochet, single crochet all the way along the strip. 9 single crochets across. You can use however many colors you want. And just use the color guide. Here, we're done with this row, so chain 1. Turn your work. Cut that straggler here, but use your color guide if you are using these colors or multiple colors or whatever. Pull that so your straggler gets hidden. Now pick up the blue-ish, greenish, and crochet over the top of that. Make sure you go into the first stitch. It can get kind of tricky with that straggler covering it, but once you get in there, it's pretty simple. Okay, so this is how the pattern goes, and just like how I did with the purple there, I just pulled this straggler across, and now we're working back and working back and forth on this strip, doing single crochets. So mine had, let's see, 57 rows for a size medium flip-flop. Okay, so that's between size 7 and 8. American, I guess. I'm not sure what European that would be, but let's see here, what is my pagoda? So one more row of that. So mine, for 57 rows, that's going to fit a size medium. So if you need it smaller or longer, just, take your flip-flop, wrap it around the strap, once you obviously get long enough, but wrap it around the strap like this, and see how far you need to go. If you, are not that far, and you obviously can see then, or once you get closer to the end, you can, put it on there, kind of wrap it around, and then see if you need to go just a few more rows or whatever. So, and I'll show you that toward the end. But just follow the color guide, or, follow instructions on just how to crochet all the way across here for however many rows you need to. Just single crochet across. It's so simple. So just single crochet all the way across on each row, chain 1, turn your work. It's, like I said, so simple. So just continue with the pattern. I'm gonna do this off camera because I think now you know how to do a single crochet and how to change color and crochet over your stragglers. So I'm going to do this off camera and then meet you back up when my when I'm on row 57. Okay, I just want to show you the last 2 rows. This is what I have so far. This is what the strip looks like. Don't worry about what your edges are going to look like because it's actually going to be underneath and you're not going to see them. So like you can see here, like I tried cutting my stragglers, but I didn't cut them like uniform with it, but that's okay because it's going to be hidden underneath. So, and if you forget to crochet over your stragglers, you can always sew them in the end, or you know, try to put them, like hide them underneath when we fold this, because we're going to be sewing these 2 edges together. So like this, it's going to go, and then the strap is going to be inside. So, but for my last 2 rows, so I just finished row 55. So row 56, I have to change color. So I just wanted to show you again how I change color and how I'm going to finish this off. So just do how we did earlier, you know, yarn over with our new color and chain 1, turn your work, pick up the color that you were previously working on, and just crochet over the top of that, but don't forget that first stitch there. You want to make sure you have 9 single crochet on every row. So if you have to count every row, or if you want to crochet and then go back and count, you know, just make sure you have 9 single crochet all the way across. Okay, and then just crochet over the top of this straggler like this. Okay, and then chain 1 and turn your work. Okay, and this is the last row. Okay, this is row 57 for mine. You know, if yours needs to be longer, you can make it longer, or if you needed to cut it short, this is how you finish. So crochet over the straggler again, over the same color straggler. Okay, but then don't fasten off right away. So I'll show you when I get there. We need to fasten off with a long tail with this color because we are going to be sewing. Okay, so to fasten off, here, let me get this stragglers cut then. Okay, so I'm going to stretch that. So make sure you stretch it out to make sure those stragglers get hidden. And then to fasten off, I usually just chain 1. And in this case, we're going to cut a long strand because we are going to be sewing this onto our sandal. And then I usually just pull that all the way through like that. Okay. So now that part is done. So now you should have a piece that looks like this. Actually, if you wanted to cut it short and like crochet around it, it'd be a nice bookmark or something, you know, or, you know, a bracelet if you wanted to cut it short. So there's many ways, many different things you could do with a strip like this. Very versatile. But now grab your sandal, and actually I did one off camera to sew it on. So this is how it's going to look. We are going to be sewing underneath. You can kind of see I sewed it like this, but nobody can see that because it's underneath, and that's what's going to be touching your foot. So we're just going to whip stitch that all the way around that piece. I'll show you how to crochet or stitch it around this thong piece here, this toe spacer piece. So I did that one off camera, so you want to line it up opposite of what you did here. So see how this big pink piece is on this side? We want then it to be on the opposite side, so the outside toes area, we want that thick pink piece to be over there. So it would actually go like this instead. Okay, so this way, because this thick pink piece, we want it on the outside. But again, to each his own, and you want to do it however you want to do it, go right ahead. So this is just how I'm going to do it. So now we need a yarn needle. will be very beneficial for you to have your yarn needle handy, because we're going to be whip stitching this piece. Okay, so what we need to do is yarn our needle, okay, and then start from one end and work our way around. So you can see, you know, if you put yours, if you kind of, I guess, finagle it around your strap a little bit and kind of line it up where it's supposed to go, you can see that this is long enough. This will be long enough, okay? But, you know, if it comes to be too long, you know, if it's way down here, you might need to scrunch it up a little bit, or you may need to eliminate some rows. Also, if it is too short, you may need to add some rows. So if you have bigger feet or smaller feet, I guess that's how you'll have to judge that. So let's get started on sewing this. So you want to have it on this side. You can see one side of the flip-flop is kind of patterned, and then the other side is just plain. We want the sewing edge to be on the plain side. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath this right here. Okay, and all we're going to do is just go in from one side to the other side, and then pull that all the way through and pull it tight. Okay, then go back from that side and make sure that your colors are lining up on each side. You know, you want the pink to be on the pink, the blue to be on the blue. Okay, so just continue whip stitching around this. Whip stitching is just going in from one side and out the other and continuing that same pattern. So we're not going back and forth, we're not going, you know, like this or weaving or anything. We're just going from one side to the other side and that same side. I hope that makes sense, but you're watching me, so it should make sense. So we're always going in from this side out, okay? So going around in a circle, like a spiral, okay? And we're just gonna continue doing that all the way around this piece. And then once we have it all connected, we're going to kind of manipulate it to fit, to look the way it's supposed to, and then we'll be finished. So continue just sewing this, whip stitching this all the way around. Again, make sure that your colors line up, and we will be back once my piece is all sewn up. Alright, so I'm at the toe part here, and I just want to show you how to get around this toe spacer piece here. So make sure that your piece is lined up correctly. You know, you can manipulate this side so that the stitches are on the bottom portion underneath. So this is what it looks like so far. Looks kind of cool. So now for the toe part, the toe spacer part, you're going to have to turn this kind of toward you, upside down sort of, and manipulate the piece, the crocheted piece, to the other side of the toe part and kind of squeeze it together on the other side. So you see it like this, okay? So the toe spacer is here, and then we're squeezing it on the other side of it, okay? And now you want to whip stitch around that piece, and it's going to be quite difficult to get your fingers in there, okay? So you got to really move the piece around quite a bit to try and get it in there. But then once you get it in there, just pull tight and make sure that it's not, you know, messed up at all. You can turn it upside down so that you can see it, and you can even go back around it. Let's see, which way did I go? Yep, you can go back around it to the other side just to secure it. So I went back to the other side of it, on this side of it. And now I'm going to go back again onto the new side, onto the side that's not sewn together yet. Like that. Okay, so that's really secure around that toe piece. So you can even see it from this angle. It's very secured around there. Okay, so now we are going to continue working. And that was like an awkward position with that. So now we're going to continue working around this edge here. We're just going to flip this underneath and continue working like we were. And you can even, you know, sew this on the side, like on the inside, how I kind of did on this side, you know, kind of just fold this whichever way, you know, like this, so it's along this edge of the flip-flop strap. And then once you're done sewing this, you can turn it to the underside. Okay, so it's not going to be so awkward where you have to like work on the bottom side of it the whole time, then it's like an awkward position. So now we got past the middle toe spacer piece, and now we're just going to continue stitching a whip stitch around this piece until we finish to the end. So it's very simple now from this point forward, and we're almost done. So I'm just going to continue whip stitching this all the way down this strap now, and I'll meet you up when we're ready to fasten off. Alright, so I'm just doing my last stitch here, and then I'll show you now how to fasten off. We're going to go into this stitch that we just made here, or into the sewing part, I guess, just whip stitch that. Then we're going to make a loop with this and just put your yarn like making a knot. Okay, I'll do that again. So just go in from one side. Excuse me. We're going to keep a loop here, grab the yarn, and pull it through. Okay? So do that a couple times, you know, 2-3 times, however you feel will make it secure on your flip-flop. Okay, just like that. And then to hide this straggler, we're just going to go in underneath into the sandal. Whoops. Okay, pull it, and you can do it again. Make it go further so there's a longer piece. Okay, just like that. Then cut this yarn. And now this is super ugly and it's on top. This is how it looks. Like, how disgusting. So we're gonna manipulate this and turn it to the back there. Okay, and you gotta squeeze it and just stretch it and move it around so that it is completely flattened against this piece. There we go. All right. There. So now we have both of them. So just do the same thing to the other one, but remember, make sure the opposite, so it's opposite, okay? So this one is on the inside where the big toe, your thumb toe will be. So make sure that these colors are on this side, and then this is where the thumb toe will be on this side, so make sure that these same colors correspond, okay? Because you don't want it to be flipped and then have these colors on this side, you know what I mean? So make sure that the colors correspond, or however you want. Like I said, you can choose whatever colors you want. I'll put the link for the pattern that I found online. It was free pattern, so I'll put her pattern in the links, section of the description of this video, and so you can see her colors, because I use different colors than hers as well, and different color flip-flops. I mean, you can go crazy with this, and you can add, embellishments. You can put buttons or flowers or other fancy embellishments. So, but I like mine just like this, so I'm gonna wear these out to the beach, and I like them a lot. So just manipulate this however should be, and there you have it. Our flip-flops are complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something and you can wear these fashionable flip-flops out to the beach or to the pool or to the mall or wherever and get all the compliments. I think a lot of people will like these. And they're great gifts, in the summertime. They're a great crochet project for the summer, because usually crochet is very warm and wintry, but this is a great summer project. So, and then you won't, these straps won't be rubbing on your feet and giving you blisters. This gives it a nice soft feel to them, so they're not going to feel uncomfortable in the flip-flops. So thank you so much for watching, and make sure to share your crochet projects on our Facebook page. I'll put the link in the description of this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel as well. So thank you so much for watching. Happy hooking!